Marvel Rivals has officially entered a brand new era, because NetEase has now openly stated that 2025 was just a warm-up lap, which means the real game truly begins in 2026. With new heroes like Deadpool and Elsa Bloodstone, massive PvE expansions, co-op modes, and completely new gameplay experiences, Marvel Rivals is being taken to a whole different level. In this video, we're going to break down everything waiting for us in the game's future. Before we begin, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment telling me which hero you want to see in Marvel Rivals. Let's get started. Throughout 2025, Marvel Rivals already proved that it's a strong live service game, thanks to its updates, seasonal content, and especially experimental modes like Marvel Zombies. But with NetEase's latest statements, one thing is now crystal clear. 2025 was simply a preparation phase to showcase the game's real potential. The studio openly calling it a warm-up is basically a public declaration that Marvel Rivals is heading into a completely new tier in 2026. The most important piece of information coming from NetEase is that the development team has already prepared at least a full year's worth of content plans for 2026, not just a few small seasonal updates. This shows that Marvel Rivals has clearly moved past the let's see if this works stage and is now being positioned as a long-term Marvel platform. New heroes, battle passes, and cosmetic updates will remain part of the standard flow, but the real transformation will happen in game modes, and especially on the PvE side. The first major content wave that officially opens the door to 2026 will be Season 6. With this season, Deadpool's arrival is practically confirmed, and bringing in a rule-breaking character who can shift between roles could seriously disrupt Marvel Rivals' current meta. Deadpool's inclusion doesn't just mean a new hero, it's a signal that far more flexible and experimental character kits may be on the way. Another major addition arriving with Season 6 is Elsa Bloodstone. As a character who represents the darker, monster-hunting side of the Marvel Universe, Elsa could bring a more gothic and story-focused tone into the Rivals world. With NetEase heavily investing in PvE and co-op content, Elsa's arrival feels like a strong hint toward future narrative-driven missions against organizations like Hydra, AIM, and others. The truly eye-catching part, however, is NetEase's clear stance on new game modes. The massive interest in Marvel Zombies and the 18v18 Annihilation mode sent a very clear message to the developers. Not every player wants pure competitive PvP. Some want chaos, some want story, and others want PvE experiences with friends. 2026 is where Marvel Rivals begins to move away from being just a classic hero shooter and lays the foundation to become a multi-mode, multi-style Marvel gaming platform. The Marvel Zombies mode became the strongest proof of this transformation. What initially looked like a limited-time experimental PvE event was embraced so heavily by players that NetEase decided to place it at the core of Marvel Rivals' future design philosophy instead of leaving it as a temporary side activity. As we move toward 2026, it now feels very likely that we'll see more narrative missions, boss fights, wave-based co-op activities, and possibly even small-scale Marvel campaigns on the PvE side. This also means Marvel Rivals is slowly evolving from an Overwatch-style hero shooter into something that feels closer to a mix of Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Destiny. Players won't just grind ranks, they'll play through Marvel-based storylines together, be encouraged to use specific heroes for specific missions, and experience an ever-expanding game world that feels increasingly alive. Another major headline for 2026 will be increased community interaction. NetEase has already begun testing systems where player voting and community decisions can shape the direction of the game, such as during Hellfire Gala events. If these systems prove successful, players could gain real influence over which heroes release first, which modes become permanent, and which events return. The expansion of social hubs like Times Square is also part of this vision. Throughout 2025, gift events, special decorations, and small activities encouraged players to spend time in social spaces instead of just jumping in for matches and leaving. In 2026, these areas could evolve into something closer to a small Marvel metaverse, featuring mini-events, Marvel movie nights, fashion showcases, and themed festivals. When all of these changes come together, the future of Marvel Rivals becomes much clearer. NetEase is no longer positioning this game as a single-genre shooter, but is a large-scale project designed to bring the Marvel Universe to life inside a digital gaming platform. 2026 could be the year Marvel Rivals truly finds its identity and completely reshapes its destiny. At this point, all eyes naturally turn to the question of what exactly will change. As we head into 2026, Marvel Rivals' traditional, repetitive PvP-focused structure is expected to slowly fade into the background. Ranked matches and competitive systems will still exist, but the game's main showcase may no longer be who is the best. Instead, it will be which mode, which story, and which experience do you want to play. One of the biggest impacts of this shift will be on the meta. Introducing role-breaking characters like Deadpool could pave the way for future systems such as talent trees, modular skill sets, and even hero loadout choices. This could push Marvel Rivals away from the classic every hero comes with fixed abilities model and into a deeper, more personalized gameplay structure. There's also serious anticipation on the map side. The community has long been asking for more and more diverse maps for the main game modes, and the fact that several 2025 maps were exclusive to 18 vs 18 or limited time events only intensified that demand. 2026 could be the year Marvel Rivals significantly expands its core map pool and greatly boosts its visual variety. Another focus for NetEase is making the time players spend in the game feel more meaningful. That means not just earning cosmetics, but advancing storylines through PvE missions, participating in seasonal Marvel narratives, and leaving a mark on the game's universe. This is a key part of transforming Marvel Rivals from a simple online shooter into a living Marvel world. All of these signs point to one clear conclusion. 2026 is not just an update year for Marvel Rivals, it's a year of rebirth. NetEase's warm-up is over statement is essentially saying exactly that. The real game, the real vision, and the real Marvel Rivals experience will most likely begin in 2026. Another major pillar of this transformation is how the hero roster will evolve. Given the depth of the Marvel Universe, we're entering an era where NetEase may start bringing in not only the most popular characters, but also more niche, story-rich heroes. Elsa Bloodstone is one of the first signs of this, and seeing darker characters like Blade, Moon Knight, and Ghost Rider take center stage in PvE storylines would not be surprising at all. At the same time, the seasonal structure itself is expected to become far more story-driven. Instead of each season being just a loop of a new hero and a battle pass, it could evolve into a mini-story arc within the Marvel Universe. PvE missions, special boss fights, and limited-time events could be designed to make players feel like they're actively playing through a Marvel comic book. The competitive side could also become more prestigious and refined within this new structure. More meaningful ranked rewards, rarer and flashier end-of-season cosmetics, and greater visibility for high-ranked players in social hubs could help Marvel Rivals build a full played, watched, talked about esports ecosystem. Another big change we may see in 2026 is a deeper integration with live events. With synchronized content tied to Marvel movies and series, special PvE missions for new releases, limited-time boss fights, and themed cosmetics, Marvel Rivals could transform into a game platform that runs almost in sync with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As you can see, starting in 2026, Marvel Rivals is preparing to become more than just a shooter. It's on its way to turning into a living Marvel universe. From Deadpool to Elsa Bloodstone, from PvE missions to brand new game modes, everything is set to completely redefine the game's identity. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments which Marvel character you'd like to see added to the game. See you in the next video.